Hi guys, Steven here, otherwise known as Wolfen. Today we're kind of coming back to the old channel and we're kind of doing a nice little refresh. Doing a bit of a reboot, if you will. And to get started, we're actually going to do a review on Railway Empire. It's a railroad tycoon genre game made by Kalypso. Railway Empire is a really interesting idea, bringing back an old genre. You know, like the city simulators and the roller coaster simulators. But this time, we're bringing back the Railroad Tycoons. Railroad Tycoon was so much fun. I enjoyed the game so much growing up that I'm kind of disappointed by kind of how this doesn't have the same challenges that they did. But we'll get to that soon. First, let's start out and talk about the positives of the game. Now, one of the things that really does kind of work well for the game is the new viewing system. It kind of has this ability where you can go very close and you can see all the grass, you can see the plants, you can see the trees. It looks amazing. You can even ride on the locomotive. Only the locomotive though, not any of the train cars. Which is a little weird, but you know, I understand its constraints because when the trains are at the station, the cars disappear. Now, one of the things that is a little weird about this game is that when you pull back, it will zoom you up into a top-down view and will show you all your rail lines as little dots on the ground. Now, on one hand, that is kind of a cool view, but on the other, I just wanted to look at the sky. Anyway, the sky does look lovely when you are down on the ground, and it looks quite amazing from a distance. One of the things I will say about Railway Empire is that it does amazing things with the trains, the sounds, and even kind of giving you an amazing sense of accomplishment at slowly expanding your railroad, getting more trains going, getting more lines going, kind of getting things going. Like, as soon as you're going chugga 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 chugga, you're going chugga 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 choo choo. Seriously. The other thing that I've noticed is that this game has a very interesting inability to build switches. It's a weird thing to say, but even straight track can't build switches sometimes, and it comes to become a very frustrating issue when you're trying to build with a 4-track area. And that does happen quite a lot. As your railroads will expand and become bigger and bigger and ginormous, you know, like the Union Pacific, the CSX, or, you know, the other major railroads in North America. Anyway, let's get down to the main issues though. While the game does have all this positive stuff, an amazing tech tree, an amazing ability to build these amazing giant lines, it falls flat in some of the places where it matters most. AI. In the second chapter, they introduce you to AI players. And that's where your problems will start. AI players don't follow the same rules you do. As a gamer, you can either play with the ability to have trains go through each other, you know, that ghosting thing, or you can kind of have a realistic version where you have to build switches and kind of taking into account that your trains will need space to go past each other and not simply just use one track. AI, on the other hand, ignores that entirely. You will be forced to watch the AI build up and kind of become this big, powerful railroad with only one track. Maybe a switch or two, but it's all on one track and the trains go right through each other. Even if you're unrealistic, they aren't held by those rules. And that becomes very frustrating because now you're dealing with an extra layer of just challenge. Because they're able to build up their fleet of railroads and tracks and trains so much faster than you, the player, can. You, the player, have to kind of try and find a way to strategically take over areas with less amount of trains and bigger amounts of goods without the amount of trains to support that amount of goods. It's rather frustrating, but it does kind of become a neat challenge when you kind of can find that balance where you are able to actually compete with him. But it is a bit of frustrating and could have been done better, and it has been an issue since before the game released. Even just glancing at their open forums that you can see from before the game actually came out, there are multiple arguments for the AI to be fixed, and they never did, which is frustrating. Another thing that I've noticed is there's some model issues. Things that just seem a little weird. Like this maintenance building. That sharp curve just doesn't match anything else. You can't make that sharper curve with the track itself. So why they thought it was a good idea to have that sharper curve there, when even you can't do it, it doesn't make sense. There's also a bit of a weird visual dissonance with the people and the vehicles running through the village, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense technologically wise. But at the same time, come on guys, you could have done better. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe that gets better later on. It is just a visual thing, it isn't really needed yet. They add this entire new system where you can have and hire employees. Sounds cool. Looks cool. You'll do it maybe once or twice and then you'll forget about it. It's a lot of work because you have different moods and different personality types for your employees. And while I understand the gameplay reasons behind it, because it kind of has complexity there, means you have to build up your perfect trained team, it also just makes it hard to hire people. If you only have 4 people to hire and all of them disagree with each other, you can't really hire them unless you put them on 4 different trains. And at that point, why are you doing it? It's just frustrating. It's like, seriously, you want me to do this? I kind of want to do this, but you're not letting me do this. At the moment, I don't think the moons were needed. That was something they could have added later to add complexity. At the moment, at the base game, that was not needed and has added too much complexity to a game that's already very complex. I've been playing many hours of this game to try and get a better feel for it, to kind of help give this review the kind of encompassing view that you need to do. But some of the things that it just kind of has made it frustrating. If you want to grab it, go ahead and grab Railway Empire right now. I do suggest maybe waiting off. It could be better. It might get better. It looks like they're trying to listen to people. In fact, inside the game itself, it actually says, hey, thank you for buying our game. Go ahead and leave a review. We're actually going to read that and try and see about possibly improving the game based off those. Is that why you had a public beta? Overall, I must say this is Wolfen Vic. I hope you like the new format. Trying out some new things. Never do finger guns again. Never. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Till next time, Wolfen Vic signing out.